Car Trims featuring Migs.
Hey guys, welcome to Car Trims. My name is Migs, and today we are going to be going over this brand new 2025 Lincoln Navigator that just was announced yesterday, August 15th, 2024. Guys, let me start off by giving a special shout out to the channel called Redline Reviews. Great channel. I subscribe, by the way, and they do a lot of detailed reviews. I am deciding to use some of their review to help me out with this video because they capture some very good video clips of this Lincoln Navigator 2025, and I just wanted to give you guys the best content possible, because if I was to go through some of the pictures that's available right now, you've seen them all, and it's not really gonna give me what I need, right? Like, I want to look at the engine, I want to look at, you know, under the hood, I want to look at the trunk, things like that. Redline is going to provide that, so special shout out to them. I left this video link in the description, so please go check them out. Please don't watch this and not watch them. Go ahead and watch them and watch it to, you know, from start to finish, and you can form your own opinion, because I think they did a great job describing every feature that's available and things like that. So shout out to them. Right now we are going to briefly talk about this Lincoln Navigator. Okay, so actually on August 22nd of 2024, so in about a week or so, my schedule has allowed me to do a tour, right? A tour with Lincoln, and we are going to be going over the 2025 Lincoln Navigator. Now, anybody can do this. It's a virtual tour. They have a product specialist, and they answer all the questions that we have, and, you know, do a tour of their vehicle, whatever vehicle we like. So I scheduled that for August 22nd at 2 p.m. Central Time Zone, and I will be putting that video out. I'll probably do a live video, and we'll just go through it together. So what I want you guys to do is leave me a comment and put all your questions that you want answered about this 2025 Lincoln Navigator, and I'll write it down and make sure I ask that product specialist those questions and get every question answered for you guys. Okay, so let's begin. I'm just gonna give my opinion for now. We're not gonna really get into trims like that until I get more information and more numbers, because I'm a numbers guy and I really can't make a decision about trims until I see everything available, and they're putting out information slowly. So this is good to see. So let's talk about this front. Okay, you see the dual light setup here that's running all the way across. I really dig that. I think they did a good job there. It's the modern look. I think they decided, hey, you know, that Nautilus that we have and that Aviator that we have, you know, we've been doing redesigns on those, and now it's time to bring the big guns out. Bring that flagship Lincoln Navigator, do that redesign. All the other competition are doing redesigns, so it was a smart move for Lincoln to also do a redesign for this 2025 model year. I like the grille. It's not as bold as some of the other competitors, but I like where they go, because I think Lincoln, they want to be the elegant of the group, right? And that, I mean, they started the luxury full-size SUV segment, right? It was non-existent. They came out with their own Lincoln Navigator in 1998, guys, and we saw the Cadillac Escalade the year next year to 1999, but Lincoln dropped theirs first. They were first to the market, created the segment from scratch, and you got to give them the props for that. So I think, what is this, generation 5? I'm not sure on the generation that we're on, but they started off doing some great things, and they're going to continue to do some great things. So when it comes to a Lincoln Navigator versus any other thing in their segment, it all comes down to preference. You're going to get luxury, you're going to get bold looks. You're gonna get people to see your vehicle. I mean, you have no choice but to see these full-size luxury SUVs with lights everywhere, right? So it doesn't really matter which one you decide to get at this point in time, 2025 model years. If you're gonna get a Wagoneer, a QX80 from Infiniti, a Cadillac Escalade, or Lincoln Navigator, I mean, honestly, you're gonna be in that top of the line range as far as price, closer to 100,000 and more, and it's going to be nice. So it really comes down to small details. So that's what they're fighting over. They're fighting over small details, brand loyalty, things like that. So how do you guys like this front design? I'm digging it. I think I like the way it looks. I think they brought a little modernness to it, with the daytime running lamps, all LED. It's nice, and I would expect nothing less from Lincoln, right? You got the turning signals on. Okay, that's nice. I like that. So let's get into these rims. That's one of the first things I noticed. These rims. So you don't have to get these rims. They have different sets of rims. So you see that right there. You can also get a different look. So it can come in something like this, right? So this is very new. I personally don't like it. I think it doesn't really match the elegance of the car. The actual rim itself may be nice. I just think it doesn't provide cohesiveness to the truck, to this large full-size SUV. It doesn't bring it together, right? When I think of Lincoln and their rims, I'm thinking beautiful big 24s, 22s to 24s, nice chrome or aluminum, just shiny, even black. You go with the black label and the jet black package, which will come with the 24s. That's what I look at, and it's like you grabbed a Kia EV, like an EV9, and then threw on the EV wheels on this beautiful V6 engined full-size luxury SUV. Just to me, it doesn't go. Could it be nice on its own? Yeah, I'm not gonna really say it's not a nice design by itself. It just doesn't provide the cohesiveness. But to each its own. Some people may love that. I think we're gonna have a bunch of people who love it, and we're gonna have a bunch of people who don't like it, and that's fine. So let's move on. The side. So the side in general, I think Lincoln's always had a more basic side. You know, they're not really as aggressive with how they mold the body. You know, you're not getting no sharp curves in the side like you see on some of the other full-size luxury SUVs. And again, that's a personal preference. I mean, again, guys, when it comes to these luxury SUVs, it's always going to come down to personal preference, because they're going to bring their A game regardless. You're going to get a good vehicle regardless. We're in 2025. All the safety features are there. All the technology is there. Everything's there. So it's going to come down to what does your eyes tell you, and that's going to be very subjective. And I like to be pretty objective, but in this case, it's impossible to be. It's impossible to be. This bag, guys, they changed the bag. This is a big difference. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this bag. I like the fact that they hid the windshield wiper. Well, it's not a windshield wiper. It's the back. What do you even call it? The black window wiper, the rear wiper. So I've seen some Lincoln Navigators on the streets today, and they don't have it hidden. So I'm glad that they decided to hide that. That's good. You need to do that. It's 2025. Well, the model year is 2025. It needs to be hidden, especially on a luxury vehicle. Doesn't matter if it's a full-size SUV or mid-size. It needs to be hidden. It makes a big difference. I don't want to see the rear wiper just sitting there at the bottom. So congrats on that. Also, they have this 2-part opening trunk, which is pretty awesome, and I'll tell you why in a second. Let me see if I can get him opening it up. So Again, I'm not gonna play his video, but he did provide some great video. So you see how this opens up in 2 parts. So this part can stay down, protecting your cargo if you have some back there and you didn't want it to, you know, spill over as soon as you opened it, which doesn't happen quite often. I mean, I'm sure you can get cargo nets and things like that to secure your cargo. But one thing that a lot of people don't think about is with these full-size SUVs, these trunks are huge, right? I'm not talking about the space inside. I'm talking about the gate, the lift gate. It's huge, okay? So, for example, if you have a shorter driveway and you decide, oh, I need to park on my driveway and the garage door is going to be closed, you may not be able to open your trunk if you're too close to your garage door, right? You may have to, your hood may be overhanging over the sidewalk just a little bit, which you shouldn't do that. And I know how, you know, the laws, they say you shouldn't park over the sidewalk. So if you're trying to open that big trunk, you may not have the space for it, especially if this is attached. So this is coming all the way out here, and it just takes up so much room. When you're in the grocery store parking lot and somebody's right next to you, I mean, you're high enough usually to get it over their car, so it's not a problem. But if they also have a pretty tall car, another full-size SUV, that could be a problem, right? So this really helps with just the ease of this opening and not having so much overhang, and that's huge. That's a thing that I think every luxury full-size SUV should have. So some brands, they need to step their game up and develop something like this, because it's not only nice, but it's functional. It's a function that is needed that you didn't even know you needed. Okay, it's one of those things. So here we go. So this is the inside of the hood. I love this view. This is a view that you don't get too often. Okay, now we're looking at a 3.5 liter V6 engine in here. This is going to give you 440 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. Okay, so this is, you know, these are going to be twin turbo V6 engines, and all of these a lot, you know, I'm not gonna really say it's better to have a V6 or better to have a V8. I personally like the V8 better, especially in these large SUVs, but a V6 does work, especially when you have a twin turbos. It's gonna work because it's gonna provide that horsepower and that torque. So it's not a huge deal, but I mean, it's just so small in here. It just, like, it doesn't even fit. Give me that V8. Give me the V8. But is it necessary? Nah. I understand why go with a V6. It's gonna be a little bit lighter of an engine. It's gonna, which helps it with handling, things like that. I mean, it has its benefits, you know. And it doesn't really save you on gas, guys. I mean, the gas is gonna be the gas mileage. You're not really looking for great mileage when you're getting a luxury full-size SUV anyway. So let's get into this. Let's not play. Let's see. Okay, so I like when he was sitting in the second row, right? And I'll keep it right there. So as you can see, we have this all new screen. Okay, now this is a 48-inch curved digital display, and they kind of took their idea from the Nautilus and brought it over. And as you can see, with this entire lineup, this entire segment of luxury full-size SUVs, they're all coming with the big displays, right? So I am glad to see that Lincoln didn't take a year off. They decided, hey, let's put that huge display that's going all the way across into this vehicle. I think it looks nice. It's a very minimalistic type of interior when you're talking about the front. So I will go to the front. Let's go to the front. Okay. So, I mean, it's not too much. So this right here is a touchpad, actually, which helps you control on the screens that you have. You have this big 48 incher, and then you have this right here, which I believe he said didn't work right now because it's a pre-production model and they just didn't have it on, which, you know, that's Lincoln's right, they can do that. But like, look at this. I think it's nice, but I don't think it's extravagant. And some people like that. Some people like the simple elegance, and this will work for a lot of people. And some people, when they spend 120 grand on a vehicle, they're gonna want more than that. And this is great. It's gonna compete. I'll tell you that it's gonna compete. We're gonna have these cup holders down here, some wireless charging and USBs down there, a huge amount of storage under this. This is the center console that comes up. So no complaints there. It's just, like I said, to each his own. You're gonna have this display for the back seats where you can control the massaging seats. You know you're getting the massaging seats in the back for the captain chairs. You know you're getting the heated and ventilated. You're getting that 30-way adjustability from the front. It's an extension of the front seats, guys. So that's good. But this is what we expect. This is what we expect, especially from a Black Label trim, which is their highest trim model. And they also have the Reserve. So I believe Lincoln is only doing 2 trims this time. They're doing the Reserve and the Black Label, which I think is a smart marketing move. Don't give consumers too much to choose from. It's an expensive car regardless, so you might as well have the very expensive top of the line Black Label, everything is included, and a Reserve where people just need a large vehicle and they like the Lincoln, so they just go with the Reserve and call it a day. But my problem here is when you go and click that link in the description and watch Redline's video, you're gonna hear him say he's 5'7", and his head is so close to the ceiling in the back. Now, I'm sure you can adjust these seats and make it go lower and things like that, but that's not what he did. So we're just seeing it from here, and he's so close to the ceiling, like the headroom. You would think it would be a little bit more for a luxury full-size SUV. That's just my opinion. I'm a 6 foot tall guy. You know, I'm 300 pounds, so space is significantly important for me. When I sit in the car, the first thing I do is I sit in the back seats, guys. I don't sit in the front seat. I sit right in the back. I sit right in the back, and if I don't like how I feel in the back, I won't buy the car. Now, am I gonna be sitting in the back or driving? Most likely I'll be driving, so it is what it is, but I need to be able to sit in the back, even if it's not super the most comfortable car. It depends on what my needs are, right? If I'm getting a sedan, then I'm not expecting to be super comfortable in the back. But if I'm looking at an SUV, a full-size SUV, I need to be comfortable in the back, because you just never know when you're going to be sitting back there. And if you're comfortable, you know your passengers are comfortable. And you're spending all this money, you want to know your passengers are super comfortable. Now, does he look comfortable? Absolutely. I believe this is going to be a comfortable seat, and I can't wait to go and test drive this thing and sit in it myself and give you guys my true opinion. But I don't know how I feel about the headroom. Now, this is a moon roof, and the moon roof does bring down the headroom, so that plays a huge role in why it's not much headroom there. It doesn't go all the way back to the 3rd row, which I would like to see from Lincoln. I would like to see that, but it doesn't. You have the smaller screens for the passengers in the back, right? And they did this on purpose. I think that's a good design, because you have that large screen up in the front, and you want to be able to see. You want to have some visibility. If you got these large screens back here too, it kind of mess up the visibility. It does its job, right? It does its job, and you can get subscriptions and things like that on these monitors to help you out, TV and all that stuff. So okay, they got that middle screen to work. That's cool. Again, nice display. You can't really go wrong here. This comes down to preference. Now, if you're asking me my personal opinion on a first look, I'm gonna tell you my personal favorite right now in the luxury SUV, full-size SUV, is not gonna be the Lincoln. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it's not gonna be the Lincoln. I think they are getting there. I think they provide something I'm not necessarily looking for, but I think they provide something that a lot of people are looking for: a sophisticated look, luxury, comfort, and that's what they're providing. A modern, more simplistic, with still all that technology and things like that. So a fan of the two-piece tailgate design. Definitely a fan of that. I'm not a fan of the V6 engine that they used last year. I think if they did the redesign, they should have did a new engine, a redesigned engine. Even if you go V6, maybe do something a little bit different, but I would prefer a V8 engine, but that's a personal preference. Again, the second row is beautiful. You know, you're gonna have that package of the captain chairs, massaging, heated, ventilated, all those things, so that's good. When you're in that Black Label, when you're in a reserve, I'm not sure what you're getting. I can't wait to see everything listed, get all of the numbers, get all the cargo space area numbers and all that good stuff. So we're gonna be looking like it's gonna be around 100,000, under 100,000 for that reserve model. Most likely going to be closer to the $120,000 range for that fully loaded Black Label model, which is on par. It's on par. Okay, so no complaints there. We'll see the real numbers when they get here, but let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Put in the comments what questions you have about this 2025 Lincoln Navigator. Put in the comments if you enjoyed this, if you like that Navigator at the first look, and press that like button for me, guys. Thank you guys so much. My name is Migs. This is Car Trims. Until next time.